Pagans on it. Pagans, we say bond them. We say bond them, yeah. Fake friends, me and bond them. Bond them, bond them.
Good morning, afternoon, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be doing a story time. But before I start, can I say I'm so out of breath. But can I say before we start, this video is in no way, shape or form intended to bash or insult anyone. Everything that I say in this story time is 100,000% true, and in no way is this story time in any way to start any sort of argument or problem, because at the end of the day, we're not teenagers anymore, we're not children, we're adults. But obviously this story time is a part of my life story, so I'm going to tell it, and in no way is it in any shape or form meant to hurt anyone or their feelings. Let's get into it. So I used to have this friend who was very secretive, and not in the usual way that you would think of secretive. Like, if you think of secretive, you would think, oh, they just don't want to speak about things or certain things. This friend was secretive in the way that, okay, first of all, our friendship started really weirdly, because so obviously one of my best friends in the whole wide world, this was one of her friends from school, and the best friend I'm talking about is my friend from college. So she had this friend from school, and we used to go to the same youth club. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so old. We used to go to the same youth club. How many years ago? Mad. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. 2016, 2017, 2016. Not 2015, 2016. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 5 years ago, we used to go to the same youth club up until about 2018. So I think I went there for 2 years, 2016, 17, and 18. I think. I might be wrong, please. I'm so sorry. My brain, I can't. But I believe we went there for 2 years. And at some point, her friend from school went. I think her friend from school attended anyway, but was just on and off, didn't really go all the time. But I met this friend, I'm going to call this friend Chloe. So I met Chloe there, and I had this other friend who also goes to the college with me and my bestie. I'm going to call him Dylan. So when I met Claire, obviously bestie was like, oh yeah, this is my friend from school, and Dylan was like, oh yeah, this is Chloe. So Dylan was like, this is Chloe. So I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Obviously, like, you'd be pleasant, because, you know, if like this person's friends with your friends, you're not just gonna be like, oh yeah, cool. Like, so I was pleasant. I was like, hi, nice to meet you. She's like, hi, I've seen and heard a lot about you. I was just like, at first I was like, heard what? Oh yeah, Dylan was showing me a snap of you. You were snapping the light up there. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was literally like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Like I already have people know me before I even meet them. So I mean, I didn't really take anything much to it. So I was like, oh, okay then. And then obviously there's a hair on my lip. Oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. Okay. And then and then the youth club day went through, and then so basically this was a youth club that specialized in drama, dance and music, so we all went there as creatives. But yeah, so the day finished, and usually when the day finishes, me, bestie, Dylan and any other people that we speak to there, we all of us in a massive group of like probably 10 to 15 people, we all walk home together. And not all of us live in the same area, but we're either walking that way to either go to the bus stop for the people that don't live in the area, which included me, because I was like the only person that didn't live in that area, so I was going to the bus stop, or everyone else that did live in the area, they would just walk everyone who doesn't live to the area to the bus stop, and we would get on our bus and then they would go home. So it just happened like this. I think it was every Tuesday, I believe. Could be Thursday. I think it was Tuesday though, but that's what happened. Now, when we got to the bus stop, I was with, I believe, Dylan and Chloe, and I think Bestie was there. I can't even remember, I'm so sorry. But all I remember is Chloe saying, like, what's your Snap? But obviously knowing that I had Snap because you saw myself on Dylan's Snap. But so I was just like, okay, yeah, okay, because like I wasn't rude. Like, I wasn't just gonna be like, and if you're like my friend's friend, like, I'm gonna be polite. Like, I have nothing against you. So I was just like, yeah, I do, here you go, calm. Then, oh yeah, what's your number as well? So obviously I didn't really think too much into it. I mean, everyone had everyone's number at youth club. Even if you wasn't going to speak to them, it was just like to have the person's number just for the sake of it. So I was just like, yeah, sure, here's my number, blah, 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 blah. Not really thinking much into it. Then obviously I went home. My bus must have came or something, or I must have got the bus home, but yeah. So I got on my bus home, Chloe got on her bus home, and then Dylan and Bestie walked home because they lived in the area. Right, that's where it started. Then I think the next day, if it's not the next day, I'm so sorry, but I think the next day I must have been on the bus, specifically on the bus going to college. I was sitting on the bus late as usual, and I was just there like, oh my gosh, I'm late again. I just hear my phone, like, usually I have my earphones on, headphones, listening to music, whatnot. Then I hear my phone like bling bling. If I had that phone at the time. I don't actually think I had that phone. It wasn't that phone. No, I didn't have an iPhone. Wait, I had the HTC, the mashed up one that I chucked on the floor at college and it smashed. I didn't mean to smash it. It was an accident. I was just trying to prove to everyone how strong my phone was, because whenever I dropped that HTC, it never smashed. So, but the one day I dropped it in college just to prove that it wouldn't smash, it smashed. But that's another story. But that phone, I think I had like some ringtone. I think, how did it go? Fuck with a nigga like me, wanna fuck with a nigga like me, don't you wanna fuck with a nigga like me? I literally answered the phone. So that phone started belling off, that HTC with a dead pink case. Yeah. And I was like, I looked at it, I was just like, it said Chloe. So I was like, oh, maybe she wants to know where Bestie is. So I was just like, hello? Like, when if I don't, like, it's weird. I'm just weird. I'm just weird. So I answered the phone like, hello? Like, thinking that she wanted to speak to Bestie, but I wasn't at college yet, and Bestie was probably in college waiting with everyone else, like, with all the others. So I was literally like, hello? Hi, how are you? And I was just like, oh, I'm fine. And then she was like, what are you doing? And I was just like, oh, I'm just on my way to college, I'm on the bus. And I was like, you know, I'm not with Bestie yet, I'm just still on my way. And she's like, no, I just called to see how you were, I came to talk to you. And I was quite confused because I'd never had like a friendship start like that. So I never actually had a friendship start in that way where it's like, I don't know, but I feel like the reason why our friendship started is because both of us just go with the flow. So like, she just called saying, hi, I can't talk. Hi, how are you? So, yeah. And I just went with the flow, like, yeah, I'm cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm just on my way to college. Like, even though it was a weird start, it was quite a strange starting, but that's not even the case right now. Right, so that was our first phone call. During the rest of the months that went by, it was literally just me, Bestie, Chloe, and Dylan, and two of our other friends. Millie, I'm gonna call her Millie for the bands. Millie, and she's gonna know who it is as well. Millie and what am I gonna call him? Millie and Sean. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I can't think of any other S name. So Millie and Sean will probably know who they are. Right. So throughout the rest of the year, it was literally just us lots just together, just, you know, going to college, going home, and then like the people that didn't go to our college, which included Chloe, they would just come and meet us in Croydon afterwards, from coming from their colleges, and that's how it went on for the rest of the months. So long story short, there started to be some sort of things that went on. So she would call us, she would call me a bestie, but then she'd be like, oh, yeah, where are you guys? I'm on my way from college, I'm gonna meet you guys in Croydon. And we'd be like, yeah, calm, we've just finished college, we're just up and down, we're looking in shops, we're gonna grab some food. And this was me, Bestie, Millie, Sean and Dylan. So that's what we would do. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. So it started off like that. Then it started off as her ringing us and then like calling us and staying on the phone throughout her journey to tell us when she got to Croydon. But she would be speaking to us about her day or whatever. But then whenever, like, this is what, like, I'm not even trying to, like, this is what we would hear. Yeah, so my day was good. Like, I'm not saying this was the conversation, but this is an example of what we would hear. Yeah, my day was good today. So and so, blah, blah, blah. For example, imagine it was this bus. 4:10 to, and then and then the noise would stop and it would come back on and she would be like, yeah, I've just got so much work to do, but I'm gonna come and see you guys for a bit and blah 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 blah, this that. And then she would stay on the phone and continue speaking, but we would be speaking to her and then we would just hear and then it would go blank and it would come back on. Yeah, or it would literally be like 4:10 to Crystal. Like, so I was like, isn't it strange that repeatedly in a sequence she keeps muting the phone when it says like the bus and where the bus is going to, bearing in mind she is coming to meet us, and bearing in mind we do actually know where the bus goes. So, and even like simple things like we'd all know the bus route, but imagine if she was going past, oh, I don't even know, where does the 410 go? Mad, hold on. Imagine if she was going past, wait, where does the 410 go? Imagine if she was going past South Norwood Clock Tower, just imagine. So literally all we would hear is South, or like South Norwood, like, or South, like literally she would even mute like the bus stops that she's going past, and it was really strange. I thought it was really strange, but obviously that leads me to the actual point that I'm trying to say, is that the secrecy was just weird. It was very strange because like, and a bit extra, because we was meant to be going to a party. Now this is moving on to the basis of the story. So we were meant to be going to a party and I was with my friend Lily, let me call her Lily. So I was with my friend Lily, and me and Lily were sitting at the bus stop in Crystal Palace waiting for Chloe. We was there, we got there, I can't remember the time, but I'm just gonna guess, I think we got there around 7, 8, and we was waiting for her to come. We said, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm just in my sister's house getting ready. And I was like, okay, calm, we're just going to be at the bus stop, meet us there. So obviously time went by. Time went by probably like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Obviously I was sitting there just like, oh my gosh, typical. Lily was like, what's going on? Like, let's call her and find out what's going on. So I called and I was like, hello, where are you? We're still here. Are you ready yet? She's like, yeah, I'm almost ready. I'm just in my sister's house, just trying to get ready. I've nearly got everything together, so and so. So I was like, okay, calm, we're still here, we'll be here when you're done. Now I put down the phone, we continued waiting for another 10 minutes, and then to our disbelief what do we see? I can't even do it. What do we see? I need to get down to camera level. What do we see? We see someone sauntering past the bus stop like this. Earphones in, on the phone. Yeah. Sauntering past the bus stop. Proper walking past that. Didn't even see us. Was earphones in, on the phone. Didn't even see us, but walked straight past us. And this was us. This was us. Couldn't believe it. She was not in her sister's house. She was not getting ready. Okay. And she just got there. Honestly. And then, yeah, honestly. And she literally just got there. She didn't want us to know. She just got there. I was absolutely astounded. So she went in the house, carried on saying how she's getting ready, and she came out probably about 45 minutes after she walked in there. I was like, none of us were impressed. She came out, we started walking down towards her road, towards her sister's road, and she came out the house and she was asking why everyone's upset with her, so and so, like, it's not her fault. And obviously Lily was like, we've literally been sitting here in the freezing cold for like over an hour, and like all you can do is literally just come out and just like say, oh yeah, let's go. Like not even no apology or anything. Like that was the first case scenario. And then obviously she was like, well, if everyone's going to be upset with me, then I'm just going back inside. I must have pressed on the doorbell once, and I'm not going to state anyone's names, but obviously that's our friend. She'd been our friend for a while. So obviously we're going to know her sister, her family. So obviously you have social media. Everyone, like most people have social media. So obviously when everyone's like liking people's profile pictures and stuff, and so you can see who also liked it. It will come up. Like it will just show you. It will show you mutual friends. Like it will show you people that you can add. Not necessarily add, like saying you should add them, but that's what it will do. And they lived in a place where you had to press a doorbell, where there was two or more people living in the place. So I obviously knew what doorbell to press because, you know, I know her sister's surname. So I was like, no, it's this one. Let me press this one. So there was a big huckus kerfuffus one time, and all I'm seeing is curtains moving, like if you're not gonna open the door, like why is your curtain swinging from the chandelier? Like I just don't know. I don't understand. Yeah, and then when she did finally come downstairs, it was literally just like, oh, how did you know that this was the house? How do you know my sister's surname? Like proper, like, how did you know? Like, I'm sure all of my friends know my mum's name. I'm sure all of my friends, most of them know my dad's name. Everybody knows my cousins' names. Everybody know, what's the problem? Like, honestly, and that's not the only time. Like, we'd literally like, one time I went out with her sister and their family and, you know, my other best friend. And let's call her Kira. So me, Kira and Chloe was in the car of her sister and her family, and we must have all been driving down the road. We went out for the day, and when we was coming back, we was driving down the road, bearing in mind we drove past her house. Now, I knew where she lived and I had been to her house before, but Kira didn't know where she lived. So we was all in the car, and her sister must have said, oh, we're back here. We're back here near home. And we was driving past, so we drove past her house, and her sister said something about the house, and then obviously Chloe was like, what do you mean? Like, no, it's not. And obviously I wasn't saying anything because, you know, it's not my place to say where people live, but Kira picked up on this, and she was very upset because she's like, why are you trying to hide that this is your road so much? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to come and fly in your house? That then turned into a whole another massive argument, and so. The whole situation was just weird. It's like the whole situation was just weird. There was just so many lies and like so many just extraordinariness within this friendship. Yeah, honestly. And it wasn't even just that. It was the case where it was things like she fell out with Bestie and Bestie no longer wanted to be her friend. I think everybody ended up falling out, and Bestie, Dylan, Kira, just all of them ended up falling out with her, and I was the last one that did like leave the friendship. But yeah, I was the last one that left the friendship. But while I was in that friendship, it's like, you know, I've known Kira for 5 years, I've known Bestie for 4 years, I've known Dylan for 4 years. So we just be out and about, and then it will turn into like emotional, like sort of like blackmail, sort of like, oh well, I mean, I can't have a best friend that's friends with my enemies, like friends with my ops, like, you know. And me and Bestie are very close, so you know, so it's just like you like, that's just fake, so and so. And I knew Bestie before her. Like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even know Chloe if it wasn't for Bestie, because she's Bestie's friend. So obviously, like, I was just getting all this emotional blackmail, just like, yeah, that's horrible, how can you do that, like, you're meant to be like on my side with me, and all of this. And you know, I like, enough was enough at one point. I was just literally just like, you know what, like, I'm just done. Like, I will not cut Bestie off for no reason. What has she ever done to me apart from help me when I needed it, been a good friend, been a good listener, helped me through my tough times? And you're telling me that I need to break friends with her? I was really upset that day, I was. Or like, if Bestie would come to my house like on a Monday after maths, because I remember there was an occasion where some people would have to go in to maths and their only lesson would be maths. So I think that was in Bestie's timetable. In one of the 3 years that she was there, she had to go in on Monday just to do maths, and then it was finished because her actual course wasn't on that day. So she would come to my house after maths, usually, all the time. We would just and you know, so would Hannah sometimes. Let me call her Hannah. So would Hannah most of the time, my other little bestie. But yeah, and Chloe didn't like it. She would literally just be like, I remember one day she called and she was like, you know, Bestie, you've been my friend since school, like, and you're just always in Atlanta's house, like, blah 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 blah, this that. I was like, do you want to come? You can come. Like in other words, like you can come if you want to, like, you know, like, why is there some big emotional drama on the phone literally about someone being in my house? You know what I mean? Like, and the last straw of it all was the day when we finally, after everything that happened, she insulted Bestie, so that's why Bestie stopped being her friend. You know, she just didn't like Kira. That's why Kira stopped being her friend. You know, she was very rude to Kira. Hannah wasn't involved. Hannah, like, we made friends with Hannah like after, so Hannah wasn't there throughout the duration. Dylan stopped being her friend because she did something so cruel to Dylan, which I should say in another story time. I don't think it's very, yeah. I'll do a story time about what she did to each person in a different story time. And then I stopped being her friend because all of the emotional blackmail, and just like, you know, you're just pulling me away from everyone and secluding me just with you. And I just don't think it's fair. I just didn't think it was fair. But the final straw was when we all just said, you know what, done. Bestie hadn't been her friend for about 6 months to that point. Kira hadn't been her friend, or hadn't really been her friend. But this is when I was like, you know what, I think it's in my best interest, and I think it's best for my sanity if I just cut all ties, like cut it there. So now here comes the last part. We had college. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I can't speak. It was a weekday night, I believe, or either that or it was a Sunday night, and the next day we had college. So all of us had to go to college. Me, Dylan, Kira, Bestie, you know, Sean, Millie, all of us. So this is how it started now. There must have been a whole ruckus about something that happened. She must have told my friend Millie, and I can't really remember it because it's very, blurred because that day it all went off. So she must have told my friend Millie something like that. I can't even remember exactly what it is, but then Millie said to me, Alanta, why are you I can't remember what it was. So one of them are gonna have to remind me, either Millie herself or Bestie or someone. But that's when I was like, bearing in mind, I was with my family downstairs, and we was all watching TV together. I didn't have my phone. I wasn't using my phone. All I'm seeing is blowing up my phone. Blim, blim, blim. I answered the phone like, hello. Alanta, why are you saying That's when I was done. I was like, yeah, Chloe said you said. That's when I was like, wait there. Yeah? I added Bestie into the call. I added Kira into the call. I think I added Sean into the call. I'm not sure if I added Dylan. And then I added Chloe into the call. And that's when I was like, why the are you saying that? I can't remember everything else I said, but I was so mad. I was like, I'm trying to watch TV with my family. You always cause drama between people. I was going, oh my, I think when I lose my temper, I actually lose my temper. So I mean, there used to be something there, that there used to be things on. I think a glass got smashed off of it, things got thrown around the room. I was like, I was so, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, Alanta, calm down. I think my two brothers came, they looked in the room. My two brothers came and they were like, even my mum came up and she's like, everyone was like, calm down, Alanta, calm down. I was like, no, she's on the phone causing drama. No. Like, and that was basically the end straw for me. Over the next time periods, it just ended up in like a group phone call that we was all in, where I must have said, where I was in a call with all of them, me, Kira, Sean, Millie, I think Millie was in there, or she might have come out, Dylan, I think he was in there, and Bestie and Chloe. And we was all in the phone call. I think at some point Sean came out. I think Millie came out first. I think Dylan also wasn't in there, or he came out. But yeah, so it was just me, Chloe, Kira, Bestie and Sean. And we was just talking, we was just saying, like, obviously this just needs to be done. It's getting too much. We just don't want to speak anymore. Like, you know, like I think like even Bestie's like, I'm just done. Bestie's like, I've put up with this for 5 years, don't want to speak anymore. I just want it to be done with. Obviously Chloe was like, yeah, but that's unfair. We've been friends since like day one, since year 7. La 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 la. She was upset. And like, what about you, Kira and Atlanta? And then Kira's like, obviously we can be civil, but you know, it just needs to be done there, this, that. And I was just like, yeah, you know, just leave it as that. Like, no bad vibes. If we see each other, then we can just say hello, but just leave it as that. Like, you know, done. This phone call ended up going for 3 hours, where Chloe just sat there and said, oh, it's out of order, how we're all turning against her, so and so, this, that. Just for so long. And we were like, listen, we've got college tomorrow. It's like 3 in the morning now. It's gonna be 4 if we continue speaking about this. This call went from about 9 p.m. to like probably near 4 in the morning. You know, I was probably late to college the next day. Had college at like 8:30. But yeah, we ended up like, so we just said we was going to keep it civil. At some point we just came off the phone to her. She was just like, oh, Atlanta, it's not fair, you're just choosing to be on their side. You know, more emotional blackmail, just like, you know, we've been such good friends, I really liked you, like, oh, it's just so out of order, blah blah blah. And honestly, but you know, I just couldn't. It was too much. But honestly, I'm gonna do more story times about what she did to each of us, but I'm gonna do it in different ones. But that is the end of this story time for now. I feel like I've just said a lot, and it's a lot of chopped up because it's from like different months. But I'm gonna do what she did to Bestie, I'm gonna do what she did to Dylan, and so far and so forth. And we're gonna be seeing those in the near future. My mum just called me. Yeah, thank you for listening to the story time. There's going to be more soon. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the near future. Bye.
Hey, hey, yeah, pagans on it. Pagans, we say bond them. We say bond them, yeah. Fake friends, me abandon. Bond them, bond them.